Here, the client is picking up a laundry basket. The movement pattern is squat, while the key feature is flex extend. Flex extend can be seen as the distance between the two lines through hips and upper back is the same as when standing. In this segment, the client is pushing a sled down a hill. The movement pattern is push, while the key feature is back. The key feature is back, as the movement at both ends of the line, from shoulder to elbow, The movement performed by the client here is walking in snow. The movement pattern is lunge, while the key feature is inline. The key feature is inline because the position of the knee in relation to the line from hip to toes. As you can see here, the movement that the client is performing is shoveling snow. The movement pattern is push, while the key feature is twist. It can be described as twist because you can see that the alignment of the two lines through the hips and the upper back show that the shoulders
This is called an air squat. First, we're going to set up our base. Find a spot that's comfortable for you. You can play with the foot angle and the width of your base. Next, we're going to hinge back with our hips, reach out with our hands and squat down and back up. For this, we want to make sure our knees are in line with our toes and our hips again. We also want to make sure our weight stays over our midfoot. And we want to make sure our spine maintains a neutral flexion and extension as we squat down and come back up. This exercise is called a knee push-up. It involves the push movement pattern. Start on your knees, walk yourselves out to a comfortable position, and then go down and push up. So what you want to look for is making sure your shoulders are down away from your ears. You want your elbows and your shoulders moving together as you do the movement. And you also want your spine in a neutral position with regards to This exercise is called a lunge, and it includes the lunge movement pattern. Start with feet together, step forward, and sink down to a depth that is comfortable for you, and stand back up, and keep on repeating. So you want to make sure your knee stays in line with your foot and your hips, and you don't want any lateral bend in your spine. You also want the weight on your front foot to be in the middle of your foot, and you want a neutral flexion and extension in your spine. This exercise is called the anti-rotation hold. It involves the pull movement pattern as well as the lunge movement pattern. So we're going to start staggered base, ankle, knee, hip all in line, weight over the midfoot of the forefoot. You're going to pull the band in front of you. Make sure shoulders down and back away from the ear, and you don't want any twisting in your back. Again, once the band's in position, you don't want any twisting in your back. You also want neutral flexion and extension of your spine.
The common pattern across the movements of picking up a basket of laundry and the air squat is the squat pattern, while the common features across both movements are the midfoot feature and the flexion or extension feature. Also, the common pattern across the movements of pushing someone on a sled down a hill and the knee push-up is the push pattern, while the common feature across both movements is the back feature. Furthermore, the common pattern across the movements of walking in snow and the lunge is the lunge pattern, while the common feature across both movements is the inline feature. Finally, the common feature across the movements of shoveling snow and the anti-rotation hold is the twist feature. Since practice makes permanent, practicing these exercises will help to close the demands capacity gap that is present within the daily movements.